Hello, my beautiful flower friends. Early of last year, I tried to plant my own dahlias, and it was the first time I ever tried to grow a flowering plant from seed or tubers, as dahlias grow from. I am happy to say it was a successful experience, but also a very eye-opening one where I learned a lot about gardening and growing flowers. In my case, I started my dahlia tubers a little too late, which meant I had less blooms for the season, and some of the blooms were in colder conditions than they would like. And looking back on this footage now, I can see how different the colors are depending on the condition the dahlia was in. This first dahlia I cut when it was still warm in the season, so this is one of the first blooms that I got. And these were maybe the last blooms that I got, and this is when the weather was turning much colder and it was about to be the first frost of winter. So you can see how the colors are a little less vibrant and there's less pinks and reds in it compared to the first bloom of the season. I was able to save some tubers from this dahlia plant, and I'm so excited for the spring season to come again so I can try and grow these again, knowing what I know from my first experience of growing these. Okay, so now on to pressing these dahlias. I will be pressing these flowers in a flower press and using fabric because I just think it's more sustainable and absorbs moisture much better. There are so many varieties of dahlias, and I don't know exactly which variety these are, but these two pressing techniques that I did on these dahlias work best for dahlias that don't have a full head of petals like some that you've seen in pictures or other places. So if you do have a dahlia that has like a full round head of petals, I would say that would be better pressed petal by petal. But since mine are different, I'm trying these two pressing techniques for my dahlias. These two techniques are slight variations of each other, and I do have a preference, but I'll show you the result of each pressing technique. The first is to separate the head of the flower from the stem of the flower, and then taking some of the center petals out so that there is less moisture in the head of the flowers and the petals can lay more flat and have a higher chance of pressing perfectly. Yes, it is that simple. The second technique, which is just a very slight variation from the first and even more simple, is to press the flower whole. I'm not separating the flower head from the stem, nor am I taking away any of its petals. I just wanted to experiment with this because I do see a lot of people pressing flowers whole, and that's not my preferred method, so I wanted to just see how it turned out. After I labeled the press and checked on it every once in a while, this is how it turned out. This is a dahlia that I pressed separating the flower head from the stem and taking some of the center petals out. I really like the outcome of this because it looks very elegant. You can see the center is really nice and clean. Whereas pressing the flower whole, the center, personally to me, it looks a little bit messier. And with pressing it whole, you can see the imprint of the stem on the flower petals. I don't like having that impression on my pressed pieces, but it is all about preference. Overall, I think these dahlias turned out amazing, and I'm really proud of myself for being able to grow these. I'm so excited for the new season so I can get some more dahlias and experiment on different ways of pressing them. And if you would like to see a video on growing dahlias, please let me know. If you also know what specific variety this one is, let me know as well in the comment section. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you next time. Until then, take care, happy pressing, happy creating. Bye!